All right. You're looking live at the Houston Texans as they prepare for preseason game number 2 tonight against the Dallas Cowboys from AT&T Stadium. The Texans are coming off a solid performance at Green Bay in Week 1. There were 3 takeaways from Lovie Smith's defense, 170 yards rushing by the offense, and we can expect more players getting into the action tonight. Anyone available will play, according to head coach David Culley. Welcome in. Texans Unlimited, presented by Verizon, starts now.
We are ready to rock in Houston.
Touchdown, Houston!
Are you kidding? What a catch. Oh, baby.
Welcome into Texans Unlimited, presented by Verizon. It's preseason number 2 game. I'm joined along with my good friend Wade Smith, 12-year veteran, Pro Bowler, and all-around Texans legend, joining me for another great show tonight. And Wade, we get ready for preseason game number 2. This is probably more like preseason game number 3 in traditional years, wouldn't you say? We're going to see more starters tonight as the Texans get ready to play the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, with the fact that now you're doing 3 preseason games instead of 4. This one, kind of the second one, takes a little bit more precedence, and you're going to get more of the starters getting reps and getting themselves prepared for the regular season. And so I'm excited to see some of the guys that maybe didn't play last week actually get an opportunity to get out there and play this week, and seeing how they play against the boys up 45. It's always good to get the Texans together with the Cowboys and do battle, and so it'll be exciting to see what the guys put together tonight.
You see Darius Jackson, who joined the team just last week and had a big game against the Green Bay Packers, and a number of players that didn't see action last week. We're going to see them play, and you and I were joking. Actually, before the game last week, we saw a shot of Whitney Mercilus,
Yes.
and you said he's probably not going to play because he doesn't look lathered up enough, and he certainly didn't play. So let me ask you, for tonight's game, who do you want to see that you didn't see last week? And you better tell us if anyone doesn't look lathered up, so you can tell us first.
So I'm going to make sure as we're watching throughout, I'll let you know if I can spot anybody that doesn't look like they're going to be ready to play because they're not lathered up. But Whitney last week was a guy that I was excited to see what he was going to look like, putting his hand in putting his hand in the dirt and playing in the 3-point stance and rushing off the edge. I could see in the pregame warm-up, I'm like, I don't think he's going to be playing today. He didn't look like he was lathered up, ready to go. So he's a guy that I think you're probably going to see tonight. Maybe a guy like Justin Reed. We didn't see him last week either. He's a guy that this is a big year for him. It'll be good to see him get back on the field today if he can get out there. And there's guys on the offensive side of the ball like Titus Howard. Titus Howard was on the COVID list last week. He didn't get an opportunity to go out there and play. Is he going to play right tackle? Is he going to play left guard? Is he going to play both? And, who knows what he's going to play tonight. But I'm excited to see him get out there and play and see what he can do. Even though Laremy Tunsil, he's likely not going to play tonight. Just getting Titus out there and getting his reps in there, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and we certainly want to see your fan questions. We're going to try to get to as many of those as we can. But first, let's get into some quick hits of the week. Last week at Green Bay, David Culley called his first game as head coach on the sidelines. But defensive coordinator Lovie Smith said Culley's anything but a rookie on the sidelines.
It went well. You're right. It's David's first time as a head coach, but he's been on the sideline quite a few times. I know I've been on the sideline a lot, and David's been on the sideline more than I have. But when you're prepared, you have an idea of how it's going to go. And again, he had us all prepared for every situation, and that'll be the case each week.
Well, last week was rookie quarterback Davis Mills' first action in the NFL as well. We saw Tyrod Taylor, veteran QB, get 1 series on the field. Here's what Tim Kelly would like to see, offensive coordinator, from the 2 quarterbacks heading into tonight's game.
Just continue to grow and get better. Obviously, like we're talking Tyrod, go out there and lead an efficient offense, go down there and take what's given to you and see if we can convert in the red zone. And then with Davis, just continue to cut back on mistakes and don't have any missed throws. I think, going back and watching the tape, there was probably 1 or 2 throws in particular that come to mind right now that immediately he would want back. And he's going to make those throws 9 out of 10 times. It just so happened that on that one screen, the ball slipped out of his hand. So to eliminate that, hey, let's get rid of those throws. Let's make those plays. And then again, continue to grow in his patience in the pocket.
All right, it's just the preseason. The scores don't matter, but it does matter to the team, according to Justin Reed, 4th-year veteran. He says that these wins and these performances in preseason mean a lot in the locker room.
I think it's great for the locker room. You know what I mean? Like, this is a preseason game. And that's not, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, these scores and these settings are going to reset. But I think it just does a tremendous job for the locker room and guys being able to see that, hey, this system works. The plays that we're putting in, the atmosphere we're creating, if guys buy into it, it works. And we're going to get turnovers with this. So I think it's just really big for team morale in that sense.
Let's get into some of these fan questions. I see them coming in. If you're watching right now, let us know where you're watching from, because we love to shout out people that are watching and sending in their questions. Javari in Miami wants to know, do you expect starters to play more snaps today? And before you answer that, Wade, David Culley said, we don't really know technically who the starters are. So I'm going to preface it all with that. The coaches probably know who the starters are, but we officially don't know who the starters are. But I get what the point is, and what do you expect to see from who we think are the starters?
Well, they've been talking about it all preseason long, all training camp, that everything is about competition, and there's no jobs that are set in stone. There's going to be guys that are going to get a plentiful amount of reps, guys that are household names that are maybe new to the Texans, but guys that you expect that are going to be potential starters, are going to be playing significant minutes throughout this year. I think you're going to see a lot of guys like that getting playing time. I think you look at on the screen right now, you see Tyrod Taylor. He only played one series last week. I would expect him to play probably the whole first quarter, maybe into the second quarter. He had a great drive when he was out there, and he looked efficient and did a good job. And so you want to see him continue to do that and build on the performance from last week. There's going to be a significant amount of playing time of guys that are going to be on the 53-man roster. And so that's exciting if you're a Texans fan, that you're seeing the guys that are going to be out there week in and week out in this game against the Cowboys.
We saw Tyrod Taylor. He was 4 for 4 on that opening drive that he played. And while he looked good and the numbers looked good, he wasn't happy because they had to settle for a field goal. I wonder the addition of other players like Pharaoh Brown and Jordan Akins and not having the tight ends on the field, having them back for tonight's game, how much that's really going to help get this offense moving, and that's really going to get him into sort of a groove heading into preseason beyond tonight.
Yeah, tight ends are their third down conversion specialists. That's what they do. When it's third down, they're going to get you the 3rd and 5 and catch one in the seam or catch one in the flat. And Pharaoh Brown, he's shown you over the time that he's been here that he's going to catch the ball and he's going to break a couple of tackles, run over somebody's face, and then talk to him afterwards. That's the stuff that you want to see, and those are the type of players and the type of guys that are going to convert and turn those field goals drives into touchdown drives. So I'm excited to see him go out there and play. That was a guy that didn't get mentioned earlier, but Pharaoh Brown, I've always liked the way he plays the game, and if he plays tonight and plays a significant amount of time, I think you're going to see that physicality up front for the Texans.
All right, here's a perfect question for you. Andre wants to know, can the Texans front seven hold up against the Cowboys' healthy offensive line? Now, we don't know if the Cowboys are going to play many of their starters. Obviously,
Right.
No Dak Prescott, maybe no Ezekiel Elliott either, but the Texans front seven, we should see more players active tonight. How do you think they're going to fare against this O-line?
I mean, the Cowboys' offensive line, it's not what it was maybe 2 years ago, but they're still a very solid group, and we don't know who actually is going to play for them. Tyron Smith, is he going to play? Who knows? Leo Collins, they have guys on that offensive line that are tried and true in this league, but we don't know how much they're going to play. Whoever it is that they put out there, the Texans' defensive line is going to be a test because, when you see what was put on film last year by the Texans defensive front, and now it's a whole new defensive front, and now it's a different defensive scheme with Lovie Smith, you want to see those guys have some sustained success over week by week. And so will they do well against this offensive line? I expect them to. They've been doing well all training camp. Guys, if Malik Collins plays, if Vincent Taylor continues to play at the level, Roy Lopez, there's guys that's been playing on the interior at a high level, so I expect them to do so tonight as well.
All right. Let's see. Alex wants to know, will Davis Mills take the next step? Now, we've seen Davis Mills throughout camp. He seems like he's getting better week over week, and even in last week's game, he had that interception in the red zone, so the Texans got a takeaway. He throws the interception. They don't really get to capitalize on a short field, but he did some nice things in the game. What do you hope to see from him tonight? What do you think will really show that he's taken the next step?
Well, anytime you're dealing with a rookie quarterback, my nature is I have zero expectations for them, good or bad. They tend to be up and down. They tend to be inconsistent. And so what you would hope to see is that he can show some consistency. If he can consistently just make the right decision and do it on a timely manner, take control of the huddle, do those type of things, get them in and out of the huddle If he gets a 2-minute drill, operate that at a high level. Those are the things that you look for. Because like I said, this game gets so much faster for them than what a rookie quarterback is used to, what they were dealing with in college. And so you're going to see some struggles, but you're also, because he's a talented kid, you expect him to make some plays as well. But can he consistently do the little things right? That's what I'm looking forward to see against the Cowboys tonight.
All right, and there he is, number 10. He's warming up there along with Jeff Driscoll, number 6. Ryan wants to know, who will emerge as the starting running back? This is a question that we get in camp almost every other day, and tonight we'll see probably Mark Ingram, veteran running back, play. He didn't play last week, and I wonder if a lot of the veterans just sort of sat out because they don't need to see much from the veterans, but tonight they sort of get into the rhythm. But you got Mark Ingram, you got Phillip Lindsay, you've got David Johnson, Rex Burkhead, who also didn't play last week. You should see him tonight. You got Scotty Phillips, you got Buddy Howell. It's a lot of running backs in that group, but do you see a clear starter in that bunch?
There's a lot of running backs on this roster that have had success in this league, and they're all competing for the same carries. If there was a guy that I had to pick out of their group, I would say Phillip Lindsay to me would be my front runner, just because the practice that I got to see out there in person, he did a great job of showing his vision and patience and being able to get one cut and get up the hole on the outside zones. And he's been a 1,000-yard running back in this league. He's had a tremendous amount of success when he was healthy. As long as he stays healthy, to me, he's the running back that has the most juice out of everybody that's in that stable. Mark Ingram is a heck of a running back, and he's done it for a very long time, but he's a little bit older than Phillip Lindsay. So I would think over the long haul, Phillip Lindsay would probably emerge as a starting running back. If I had to put money on it, that's who I would say.
Yeah, it's really hard to say right now, and it's going to be fun to watch how these running backs come together, especially with such a diverse group. We see number 18, Chris Conley, who's doing some nice things for the receiving game, and we saw a shot of Brandon Cooks earlier. I was going to ask you if he looked lathered up, like he looked like he was going to play, because we didn't see any Cooks, and every time we see him in practice and he makes a play, Mark Vandermeer says, put Brandon Cooks, number 13, in bubble wrap. But
so I just saw Brandon Cooks walking in the background there, and he kind of had that swole walk that he has. And when he walks around with that swole walk, I think he's going to make some plays. So I would say he's lathered up and ready to go.
Okay.
I think Brandon Cooks will make a few plays tonight.
Okay, that's good to know. I like that Brandon Cooks is lathered up. There he is warming up, number 13. Merckx in Canada wants to know, what are the best game day meals? So Wade,
that's a great question.
You got to think back some time ago.
Question.
What were some of your best memories of game day meals?
So this is my thing. I was very superstitious, and so I ate the same thing every time it was a pregame meal. I always had pasta, and I always had red sauce, and I always had meat sauce as well. And then I always would have a grilled chicken breast, and then I would have some vegetables, some asparagus, some squash, something to that effect. And if I was on a away game, that's what I would have. And I would have that at home games as well. Like I would, instead of eating with the team for pregame meal, I would drive home. My wife would make that meal, that exact meal for me. And I would eat it at home, and that's what I did every time. And the pregame meals are awesome. There's a smorgasbord of stuff that you have there to eat. It could be breakfast-like food. It could be the meal that I had. A bunch of different options, but I was very superstitious. And so, hey, I figured out a meal that I liked, and I stuck with it for the entire time I was here with the Texans.
Wow, that's a lot of repetition.
Yeah.
But you're eating like 3 to 4 hours right before the game.
Yes, it's a long time. By the time the game is over, you're starving, but you don't ever want to be full. You don't ever want to be heavy going into a game.
Sure.
And so if we were playing at 12 o'clock kickoff, I'm probably eating at like maybe 7:30 in the morning, something like that, 8 o'clock at the latest, and I'm not eating again until probably 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock that evening. So you get a bunch in you, and then you burn it all off while you're out there winning ball games at NRG.
All right, well, Kyemi Fairbairn, I'm not sure what his pregame rituals are, but he was 4 of 4 last week against Green Bay Packers, so I think he should just repeat that meal. And this week, Drew Doherty had a chance to catch up with Kyemi and find out what he expects out of year 6.
We got Kyemi Fairbairn, the kicker for the Houston Texans. It's great to be with you as always. I like that gold chain, man.
Thank you. Yeah, this is a little sparkle, a little present from my dad, so got to rep it.
Not bad. Yeah, it's kind of new. I hadn't seen it out there before.
Yeah, it's got a little twinkle. It's nice. I get a lot of compliments.
How is Pops? What's going on back in Hawaii?
He's good. He's living a dream. He's got a boat he's working on right now, and he wants to get out on it. He's building it from scratch, so it's a pretty cool deal. Lots of cool pictures.
Fishing boat, just leisure boat. What's going on there?
Fishing boat.
Okay. Yep. How are you as a fisherman?
I wish. Yeah, I don't fish. I wish. So it's still a work in progress. Yeah.
So what water sports or water activities are you into if it's not fishing?
Yeah, I always loved land sports. My brother was one of the guys who, developed a real love for the ocean. Not that I don't love it, but, I grew that love later on, surfing, and, I'm not very good. It's a real tough sport to surf and boogie board and all that stuff, but I enjoy my part of it.
So you dabble in surfing and boogie boarding. Do you do any body surfing? Do you do any stand-up paddle boarding? Do you do any of that stuff? Kayaking, canoeing?
I love all that stuff. You take me out there, that's one of the things I'm doing for sure.
All right. You're also an accomplished soccer player. You're one of a few on this squad. Justin Reed, really, really good soccer player. You played in Hawaii growing up, and you played against Kamu Grugier-Hill, who's a linebacker for the Texans. He had a nice game the other night, as did you. So the two Hawaiian soccer players both doing nice things. Who's your favorite soccer player all time?
That's an easy one. Thierry Henry for my team Arsenal back in the early 2000s. I grew up watching it. Soccer was my first love, so they got a special place in my heart.
Do you talk soccer at all with him? Reminisce about the old days, talking about Grugier-Hill, not Thierry Henry, unless you do talk with Thierry Henry.
No. Oh yeah, we try to. We were rivals, and I like to say we got the better of Kamu back in the day. So I remind him of it every once in a while.
How wild is that you're in the NFL and you played against somebody in high school? And I know it happens elsewhere, and there might be other guys on the team, but there can't be too many who they actually played other sports against each other when they were growing up.
Yeah, it's special. We got a few guys around the league. Hawaii is a very tight-knit community, and there's a lot of talent out there. So it's fun to see everyone out there. We always catch up when we see each other on the sidelines and when they play for other teams. And it's just nice to have Kamu on the team to reminisce and be thankful for what we have, where we're from.
Take me through a little bit of your game day. You got a night game Saturday night, taking on the Cowboys in Arlington. So what's your pregame meal, and how soon do you eat it? Because kickoff's at 7.
Yeah, the late games are tough. It's a lot of waiting around. I have to take a nap whether I want to or not, just because the late games, there's so much time. You got to take some up with sleep. My pregame meal is definitely stir fry. I'm a big stir fry guy. Whip it up with little broccoli, little carrots, little chicken, some rice, obviously, some teriyaki sauce and shoyu, or AKA soy sauce. That's my go-to.
And they have that available pretty much all the time on a pregame meal?
Lad hooks it up. He knows what I like, yeah. Lad knows.
Got to keep the kicker happy, right?
Well, we got to eat.
What do you drink? Anything? Of course you do, but what are you drinking?
There's those poppies, those new poppy orange ones. Yeah, those. It's like a soda, but not, and it tastes fantastic.
A little bit of fizz.
Yep.
And eating stir fry, and he kicks it through the uprights. Hey, Kyemi, it's great to be with you. Thanks so much for the time. We'll do this again sometime down the road.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
Kyemi Fairbairn, old high school rivals with number 51 there, Kamu Grugier-Hill. The two of them grew up in Hawaii, went to schools, rival high schools, played soccer against each other. And Kamu Grugier-Hill told me he's actually was a volleyball state champs in Hawaii. I asked him if playing volleyball helped him at linebacker, and he laughed. And he said, not really. I thought I had to ask, though. But anyway, that's Kyemi Fairbairn. Looking forward to a good season from him. And, he's off to a great start. And for those of you that are calling in and writing in and tweeting in with your questions, I just want to shout out everyone that's watching right now, because you're watching from all over the place. Clifford in Beaumont, Javari in Miami, Merck's in Canada, Patricia in Corpus Christi, Heather in Fort Stockton, Steve in Conroe, Andy in Virginia, Edward from Beaufort, South Carolina, Roberto in Mission, Texas, Alex in Fort Hood, Gilbert in the Rio Grande Valley, Denny in New Hampshire, Bernardo in Acres Home, and Chadwick in Louisiana, and Jorge in Mexico. Oh my gosh, we have people watching from all over the place. That's so exciting. All right.
Worldwide, baby, worldwide.
We are worldwide. We
There
should
you
call
go.
it Texans Unlimited Worldwide,
There you go.
Worldwide Edition. All right, Hex in the United Arab Emirates, talk about worldwide, wants to know, what do you think of Nico Collins?
I think he's a rookie receiver that has made a bunch of plays in training camp. He's shown that he's a guy that will go up over the top and make plays in coverage. And that's something you really can't coach up and teach. Some guys have that ability, and a lot of guys don't. He does. I remember Coach Conley talking about getting him to be consistent early in training camp, and I've seen him develop that and get better there. He's a guy that's gonna make a lot of plays for the Texans this year and for sure in the future. Anytime you have that guy that's in the red zone, you could throw it up there and let him go get it. That's a mismatch for teams that have to go against him, especially when you have Cooks on the other side. They're probably going to roll their coverage over there, so I think he can get some one-on-one matchups and have a heck of a rookie year.
I think his catch radius is so impressive because he is so big and long, but you're right. I think just playing in those high-pressure situations and is he going to be able to make those scores in the end zone, especially playing in some tough coverages? It'll be curious to see. And I know nobody wants to crown any rookies yet. It's just training camp, but
Right.
I think so far he's been a lot of fun to watch, and we've seen him rotate with all the different quarterbacks, and he seems to be making plays no matter who he's playing with. So I feel like if the consistency is there, we do have high expectations for Nico Collins. And I think that's fair to say, especially from what we've seen so far in camp.
Yeah, I think it's important that when you put rookies in the game, do you notice a difference? Do you notice a drop-off, or do you notice that he stands out for the wrong reasons? And Nico Collins, he fits right in when you put him in the game. Same thing with Charlie Heck. Charlie Heck goes in at right tackle. He's not a rookie, but he's still a rookie because he's in the veteran vernacular, he's still a rookie because he still needs 3 more games this year to not be a rookie anymore. But hey, when you have guys that are young and have not played that much in the league, when you put them in with the starters, you put them with the ones, does he fit in and look like he belongs? And I think he does, and I think that Nico Collins, he has a very high ceiling. He plays, you talked about his catch radius, he has strong hands. And so if you have strong hands, you can catch the ball in traffic, you can make yourself a lot of money in this league.
All right, hopefully we're looking at a bunch of really lathered up players for tonight's game because I want to see a lot more starters tonight. Wade, what about you for tonight? What do you want to see? Give me 3 keys to tonight's game.
Well, last week we talked about the Texans running the ball. I thought they ran the ball very well last week. I want to see them continue to do that. We talked about them creating turnovers. I think they created 3 last week. I want to see them continue to do that. And then I want to see Tyrod Taylor put together 2 or 3 really good drives and finish in the end zone. We saw last week he got to put together a really good drive and they finished with a field goal. Let's finish one of those drives with a touchdown. And you see that, Jordan Akins, I see him getting ready. Farrell Brown, he has some of his guys that'll convert for him in the ball game with him. Let's see him score a touchdown or 2 when he has his chances to play. And then Davis Mills, when he comes in there, let's not have any drop off. Let's see Davis Mills come in there and the offense not miss a beat. Those are kind of my keys to this game.
I'd like to see a touchdown on the opening drive. I thought it was really good how they moved the ball, but it is a little bit of a letdown when you settle for a field goal. No offense to Kyemi Fairbairn.
Right.
And with Davis Mills, you're right. Just to see him improve from last week to this week would be a huge step. And it'd be nice for Lovie Smith's defense to get three or more takeaways again. I thought they played a really great game last week, so for them to be able to maintain that would be really great. And for those of you watching out there, if you can send us your photos and hashtag them That Football Feeling on social media, you might see your photos up sometime later tonight, either on social media or somewhere out there. So that hashtag That Football Feeling with your photos. We'd love to see them. And also, tickets are still available. The Texans are back at home. They're going to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the final preseason game. And then this year, single game tickets are for sale. You can also get multi-game packages. You can also get a family pack for a family of 4. So be sure to check out HoustonTexans.com. Go to the tickets button up in the right-hand corner and check out all the different games that are available. Well, that's going to do it for us for Texans Unlimited, presented by Verizon. Wade, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be watching very closely to see how tonight turns out, and you can catch all the coverage and the post-game action on HoustonTexans.com. A special thanks to everyone that worked on this show. It's a big group of people. Tyler Marcotte, Amanda Caffey, Einav Leibowitz, Alex Lozano. On behalf of Wade Smith and myself, we thank you so much for watching. And as always, go Texans.